Hello, princesses. Welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. So I recently picked up something new from Cover FX, and it gave me an idea for a video. So today I want to talk and have a little bit of a highlighter or face palette showdown between the new Cover FX Custom Enhancer palette and one of the new Dior Backstage face palettes, namely the rose gold version. They are just so similar, and for the very observant of you, in fact, spoiler alert, I have one look on one side of my face and one look on the other. So I'm a little bit lopsided, but I bet you kind of didn't notice unless you're staring at it now. So we're going to talk about the two. We're going to try them on. And we're going to talk about this whole thing with face palettes as actual face palettes used all over the face. But first, let's start with this Cover FX little fella here. This did not get a lot of publicity. It is new. It is the Cover FX Custom Enhancer palette. So we're going to look at it, swatch it, talk about it. Cover FX does not get a lot of press these days, and I'm not sure why, because they're a really fun little company. If you think back, Cover FX really got famous for their what they call their custom enhancer drops, and in fact all of their little drops with these little medicine dropper. This little guy here is a glitter in here dropper. They have candlelight sunlight, they have gold, they have paint gold, shimmer rose. They even have drops that will turn your moisturizer into a foundation, into, a light moisturizing foundation. They're just kind of famous for their drops. They're like, it's like a little chemistry set. And this is just a little one I found laying around. They're all over my beauty room. I got lots of little custom enhancer and various Cover FX drops. But what impressed me the most, I don't reach for them a ton because, I'm more of a powder girl myself anyway. And the way Cover FX really got my attention, do you remember these monochromatic blush duos? I grabbed two out of my drawers to show you. This was maybe about 2 seasons ago at this point. And these were these little blushes with blush toppers and highlights. And they are delightful. If you've never picked up one of those by Cover FX, I highly recommend you try them. I grabbed 2 different colors here, and they're just so lovely. There's just the blush and the little cover over it, and they really kind of became an underground hit in the beauty scene, and Cover FX got talked about again. So when I heard that they were doing a palette of their best-selling drops in powder form, I said, sign me up. So this custom enhancer palette is new, but hasn't been getting too much press. It takes 3 of the best-selling custom enhancer drops, which is Candlelight, a bronze color, Sunlight, the gold color right here, and Blossom, which is a pearl pink. So these are their most popular drops, and we'll see it on the arm in a moment. And they've made it into a pressed powder that feels on the finger when you swatch and when you apply it very much like a cream to powder. They're really kind of luxurious feeling and quite pretty. And I just kind of could not resist. But when it came in the mail the other day, the first thing I immediately thought of was something else new I had picked up at the Sephora sale, which was the Dior Backstage Glow Face Palette in rose gold. So let's take a look at that little guy. This also has 4 shimmer shades, a metallic golden peach, a shimmer rose, a golden pearl, and a metallic pink gold. All kind of metallic and all shimmer. And these are face palettes, so they can be used as blushes, they can be used as just an all-over shimmer, and they can be used in the eyes, in the eye sockets and whatnot, which we're going to do today. A word to my viewers who have medium deep to darker skin tones, you can still achieve the same look. Try something like the Dior Backstage face palette in Glitz. Now I play with the Glitz Backstage palette in another video that I will link below, where I'm getting ready with me trying new makeup. This is a slightly deeper version of exactly what we're doing today. Cover FX does not make theirs yet in a deeper version, but a lot of the colors in here that you can play with can work for many skin tones, whereas the Dior If you have a deeper skin tone, I would go with something like Glitz, which is a little bit deeper. And if you're fair to light medium or even medium, you can go ahead and use this rose gold palette. It's really personal preference, okay? So let's take a look at the arm swatches. So we have the Cover FX palette on the left, and then the Dior palette over there on the right. So take a good look at those. Those are just the arm swatches of the two powder palettes, and you can see why one reminded me of the other right away. They are very, very similar and really, really pretty. Now, normally I would probably run my brush over all three or all four, depending on the palette, and just kind of highlight with it. But I thought today we would take a quick look at doing a very quick look on the face, one side of the face with the Cover FX products and one side with the Dior, and then we would see what we think, although you're getting a little bit of a preview. So I'm going to come back with nothing at all on my face, and we're going to apply one brand to one side and one brand to the other and see what we come up with. Just stay right there. Okay, fresh faced here and ready to go. And I think the best way to do this will be to do a Cover FX side and a Dior side. We're gonna do eyes, we're gonna do face. We're just gonna kind of do it up in this hopefully one and done palette. So let's start with the Cover FX. And I think we'll start with the eyes. And I'm going to use this kind of bronzy shade in the eye with a nice fluffy rougher number 1. And I'm just gonna take this very pretty color and put it in the crease. Now I have hooded eyes, so I want it, and it, and it's sparkly, which is supposedly a no-no, but that's okay. I'm going to make sure I come up a little higher with it, and I did use the darker color. I really wouldn't use the super lightest color in there, but this is supposed to be a very simple eye look, and that's what we're going for. I'm also going to take this flat brush, also from Rephr, the number 2, and run the same color quickly underneath for just a very, very simple eye look. Then I'm going to take the middle shade and just kind of highlight the eye, highlight the inner eye, and highlight under the brow bone. Okay? Very, very simple, simple. Now I'm going to take also another Rephr brush here, and I'm going to take this kind of shimmer color and do the cheeks. Now, we do have to know that all shimmer will bring out texture. So a lot of folks don't enjoy using shimmer as any sort of a blush because it will emphasize it. But so many of us have gotten to a point where we just don't care. I'll use the individual shade here, the darker shade, to just kind of give a little bit of kind of a bronze look there. And then I'm going to do what so many people say to do with these types of palettes, and that is to just go across them and highlight. So we have one side of the face done. I'm going to add some mascara, but we have one side kind of a bronzy, easy, quick, shimmery, holiday type look done. Let's do the Dior side. Same idea, okay? So same idea. We do not have a bronzy shade as such, but we do have kind of a peachier one, which I will use in the crease, and we'll see how that works. This is kind of a goofy idea. Really, what I would normally use this palette for is to just kind of highlight the eye, but I thought it would be a little bit fun. We're gonna just kind of get a similar look, and I'm gonna go into the middle with the lightest shade, brow bone under the eye. Much more golden look. Wait till we add eyeliner and mascara, and it will come to life. Just, you're gonna have to trust me a little bit. I don't know if the Dior palette is something I would normally just do one eye with, but why not? Okay, let's go into this pinky one again, just like we did in the Cover FX palette, and we will just do the cheeks, and then we will kind of do a little bit of the all over. Interestingly enough, on the Dior, I am seeing more texture and more shine. Let me just kind of do a smile and do a close-up for you. And I do see more pores on the side. So the Dior definitely has more of a kind of a glisten to it. And look what I'm doing here. I'm just going all over the palette, and let's just highlight. I'm coming up and I'll do this one on the nose. And I just kind of did an all over kind of sparkle there. Okay, that's two sides. I'm going to add in some eyeliner and mascara, and then we'll come back and see what the main differences are between the two palettes. I think they're terribly similar. Okay, I'm back, and I've added in, on each eye, I've added in Wayne Goss's Obsidian, that really black liner, and some Marc Jacobs at Lash'd mascara. And the reason I did such a dark liner with such a light look is I just thought it needed to be livened up a little bit with a little bit of drama. It was starting to just get to kind of just fade into the background. So if we look at the two sides of the face, again, this being the Cover FX side, and this being the Dior Rose Gold face palette, Backstage face palette, I think this side is a little bit prettier as a blush, but a little bit too glowy. To me, the face palettes are for glow and not really as a blush. I think it's almost a little bit too much, but the Cover FX kind of worked as a blush. On the eyes, the Cover FX had that slightly darker shade that I used in the crease, and I like that a little bit better. To me, this eye is starting to fade and look a little bit too hooded, if you can see that there. And I think for this one is a little bit more flattering. But we are basically splitting hairs. They're very similar palettes. I really love this kind of almost cream to powder formula. It's just a powder formula, but it feels so creamy in the Cover FX. I just think they do these powders very, very nicely. But the Dior is super pretty, more as just kind of an overlay for glow. But I just wanted to show you that you can use these face palettes for the entire face, including the eyes, and you can even put a little bit onto the lips just to add a little bit of drama as well. Please remember that if you are medium to darker medium, this Dior Rose Gold palette might not be your style, but something like the Dior Glitz just might be, and that just gets a little bit more golden. So there's quite a few of these Dior palettes to play with, whereas so far only one of the Cover FX. So let me know, in your routine, do you ever just take something like that and just do a quick look like we did today? What do you think about shimmer on the cheeks, and how do you feel about letting your pores come out to play? Do you like to show them, or would you rather hide them away? It really depends on the person. So leave those comments below. I'm always interested in what you guys have to say. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and if you haven't already done so, I would certainly appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel. Links below for all your shopping needs, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.